I don't understand. I just don't see things the way he does.
We're in a sunken ship, and it was really creepy.
Human stuff, huh? Hey, let me see.
As interesting as Ariel's. You know Ariel, the mermaid? Ah, what a voice. What a beauty.
Well, look at what the catfish dragged in.
Crustacean band, each little clown here know how to jam here under the sea.
Hey! How you guys doing? Welcome back to Logan's Story, and welcome back to a historical overview context of Disney California Adventure rides. This ride we're going to be speaking of, Little Mermaid Undersea Adventure. Thank you for coming, and let's get to it.
Burning bridges and falling stars, purple sky.
The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure, stylized The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure, a ride attraction based on Disney Animation's 1989 film The Little Mermaid, located in Paradise Gardens Park at Disney California Adventure and in Fantasyland at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom Park. Where it is titled Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, stylized Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. The ride opened June 3rd, 2011 at Disney California Adventure and on December 6, 2012 at Magic Kingdom. Alright, so there's a glowing speaking of things happening in this ride. It's based off the 1999 classic, The Little Mermaid by Walt Disney Studios. And nonetheless telling a story that seemingly is speaking over what we know now as a ride that's based off a movie. And with everything coming to grips, that's what this ride is about. The ride is about showing what we can show through the graces of what the movie is adapted from. But is there loose ends? Are there repetitions? And does the ending seem a little bit of a farce? Here's the thing. When it goes down to understanding the ride in general, we have to understand two things. It's based off the movie, heavily inspired by it even to the gloats of people who say they love the ride even more than they love the movie, or they love the ride and the movie just the same. But the thing is, that encapsulates what we know now about what is this ride trying to show us. And what is the overall worldview aspect of the ride? Before we get into that, here's the thing. When you understand a ride as being adapted from a movie, which is what most of these rides are, by the way, some of them are original, but most of them are adapted from pictures that we've seen in the movie theaters or Disney Plus or anywhere you watch your movies. This ride is a clear picture of what we can see as entertainment and gloat of what the ride is trying to show us as well. And that doesn't mean much, but the thing that means a lot is seeing the characters through the ride being developed the way they should, respectfully. Even though Monstro is a villain, he's shown with respect to the story. Even though Pinocchio can be aloof sometimes, he's still addressed perfectly in the story. Even though Ursula is evil, she's still represented respectfully through the story. Even though Ariel, especially Ariel, is kind of aloof and dreamtastic as well, she is really represented well throughout the movie and through the ride and the story. The thing is, when you come down to it, there's a lot of things that we could say about this ride indefinitely that makes it so beautiful. But one in particular is a sense of flowation. A flowing movement, almost like you're moving through water. And with that being said, that's the thing that drives us crazy. How can a ride flow through perfectly? From scene to scene. Let's go into detail. Okay, so when you flow into the ride scene to scene, it's almost like you're trying to read a storybook. The next page, the next page. This ride is a clear storybook tale, and is meant to tell a story through its, opening of pages, or new scenes to come along as you go through. It's like turning the pages of a book. It's like you are the book almost. Being the book is somewhat important into the light of what we understand the book to be. And with that being said, there's a great scale in terms of every single thing that we know now as Ariel's Undersea Adventure. And that is, The Little Mermaid is a timeless classic no matter what book you're reading from, no matter what ride you're riding. You cannot mess this up, because if you mess up the story, you mess up the characters. You mess up the characters, you mess up the ride. And even more so, the flowation of the whole ride is what it constitutes it as something worth riding. See, it doesn't confuse the audience. It doesn't make them wonder which one is which. The only thing that you can do that's different maybe in Frozen sense, because Frozen doesn't tell a definite story. Frozen goes through different scenes and relates to the Frozen movie in general. This ride doesn't do that. It keeps the flowation going from scene 1 to scene whatever. And a kind of a summarization of The Little Mermaid in some way. Now, that being said, there's no doom for Frozen even if they don't tell a definite story through the summarization or the pictures or just the feel of the entire attraction. It's the motion carried. It's the thing that makes us want to ride the ride. It's the e-ticket attraction that makes us to watch the flowation of pictures go along. Even though Frozen doesn't do it, as an example, Little Mermaid does. It summarizes the tale for us to understand. We'll get to the Frozen stuff when we talk about the historical worldview context of Epcot rides. But here's the thing. Here's the most definite thing. We each have a goal. A goal to tell a story. And whatever that story is, whether you're hearing it through my lens on this YouTube channel, or you're making your own lens for yourself, there's something great about telling a story. There's something great about flowation and making a story flow through. Almost like water. Almost like a cloth through the wind. Almost like anything you could think of that is flowing through nature. That thing makes it even better. But here's the thing. Besides flowing through nature, besides characters, stories, and the doomed or non-doomed way that Frozen portrays itself in terms of a ride and in comparison to Little Mermaid's Undersea adventure, what could we take away that's more important than even all that? We're going to go on an application, but before that, a quick intermission. You are a storyteller. You need to understand that each of us has a story to tell. And Little Mermaid's Undersea Adventure is an example of what story could be. A flow. A flowation of different things. And if the story flows perfectly, if your story flows perfectly, if your mind flows perfectly, if you have the mind to tell stories and the heart to do it too, then guess what? You can be a storyteller. Now, this channel doesn't really represent storytelling in a way that is useful, or even storytelling even for that matter, but it's a tool to inspire you to tell your story through the lens of what story already is. I'm breaking down each story that is coming through this YouTube channel, whether that be a Black History story, whether that be an attraction story from a certain park, whether that be from a movie story of any sort of movie that you love. You have the power to tell the story you want to tell. And maybe implement the things that are talked about in usage of all the things I've been talking about from this point on. And I started 6 years ago. Well, more like 13 years ago, but I don't count that. I started my own for real 6 years ago. And today, it's kind of benefited me. But the thing is, and what you should be taking away from this is, your story and your beauty of the story and your flowation of the story matters. See, the thing is, a lot of rides like to be entertaining, but this ride is telling you the story through the eyes of, well, you, yourself, and yourself. And to close out, what are you making sure that the flow of nature comes through you? And how are you flowing through life knowing that you have a story to tell? Thank you for my application, and let's continue forward. Thank you for my local story. Thank you for the historical worldview context of Disney California Adventure rides. There are more rides in the future, so keep an eye out for those. Also, the mission is 1,000 subscribers. You guys know we get there by hitting the share like and subscribe button right on the screen. Also by hitting that bell. Leave a comment if you can too. Thank you again. Oh, and also follow my Patreon if you can. Thank you again, and peace.